Since the dawn of time, plants have protected suburbia from the zombies. But now the world has changed. Welcome to Zomburbia.
There's a good guy.
So I love Plants vs. Zombies, Andrea. I know you like Plants vs. Zombies because I went to the original press event for Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare before GameTrailers made the move to Defy, and there was Andrea Renee playing Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. And so I think just as surprising as Garden Warfare, this third-person shooter, coming to this franchise, we're getting Garden Warfare 2.
Yeah!
And the imagination races and all of the weird things that they could add to the game. And actually, I'm going to have to bring out a list because there's so many specific things that they talked about. I'm just curious to bounce it off you of what your anticipation level is going into Garden Warfare 2 and what you thought was cool.
Well, I really enjoyed Garden Warfare. When it came out, I thought it was a really fresh look on a franchise that I love. I think PopCap has done such a fantastic job of creating this unique world, this suburbia where there's all these different really fun personalities in these plants and in the zombies. And now for Garden Warfare 2, they've decided to kind of like swap roles. So instead of the plants defending Dave's house, it's, the zombies defending Zomburbia and Zomboss. And so the plants are now like, they've been overrun, the zombies have run them out of town, and they're not going down without a fight. So now they're coming back trying to reclaim their lost home, and it's got a nice little spin on it. I mean, the little section of gameplay that we did get to play, I didn't think looked dramatically different than Garden Warfare. I mean, It looked almost identical style-wise. I mean, except the roles were reversed, right? You're defending as zombies and attacking as plants in specific modes. So the mode that we got to play was Graveyard Ops, which is just a play on Garden Ops, which was in the original game. And I thought it was fun. I think the new characters they've added are also really neat. So the zombies that we got to play as were the Super Brains, which is kind of like a movie star zombie who has a lot of melee attacks and special abilities. Then there's Captain Deadbird, who we saw in the Plants vs. Zombie. Oh, it's Deadbeard, sorry. Who
Not
we
to
saw
correct
in
you
the,
on a silly name.
I know, right? In the Plants vs. Zombies 2, mobile game, who's kind of the sniper, but he's got a peg leg, so he doesn't move very fast. And then there's Imp and Z, which is the little imp zombie that kind of, gets shot from the cannons in the tower defense game. He has a mech suit, very Titanfall-esque, and I asked, some people from EA, I was like, you guys have a mech suit game, did you guys take some inspiration? They're like, maybe we did.
Because you don't start, the imp, one of his abilities is actually to bring in the suit. And then
to drop the suit, yeah.
Because I played as the imp and I loved him. He was my favorite out of the new zombies. And you actually, as the imp, have to get in, and when you summon the suit, it totally does a Titanfall, down into the
Exactly,
the
it's
ground.
totally
It definitely
Titanfall.
seemed like. And parody is what those guys do so well. It's worth noting that we didn't play as plants. I thought that was interesting. So we just played Graveyard Ops, and we just played as the zombies. And then there's also Citron, Rose, and Colonel Corn that are the 3 new characters that they're bringing. They said there's 40 new characters?
Yeah, I have no idea, if those are just a lot of, NPC characters, or maybe they're, wave-based, so, in Garden Ops, you get a lot of these, plant characters that come that you attack, but you don't necessarily play as. So these were the 6 new playable characters. We're definitely going to see lots more types of zombies and types of plants in all of the modes in the final game once it's released. For the plant characters, I thought the design of Citron was really kind of cheeky and fun. So it's a genetically modified orange, and he has a special weapon called an EM Peach. And I'm like, I just love the play on words. PopCap is so great at being really kind of whimsical and funny with their characters.
And they had a great presentation. Like when they were announcing all these characters, the guys were cracking up. Like they were cracking themselves up explaining
Yeah,
this stuff.
exactly.
And you could really get the vibe. Because, I could see people that are like, okay, Garden Warfare 2, maybe that seems a little rushed. Like, I don't know if that's necessarily a game that, like, people were dying, obviously eager to get more of. They mentioned, 6 million people played Garden Warfare. And, they had lots of microtransactions, lots of fun costumes and items you could add. So, like, more of Garden Warfare, I'm sure people were digging. But, like, a specific sequel, the question would be raised, like, okay, what are you doing to up the ante? But it seemed like they just had so much fun building more stuff and adding more stuff to this world that, I could see this doing well for them if people are maybe didn't check out the first Garden Warfare 1, which they actually mentioned that you can character transfer. So if you unlocked a bunch of cool stuff in Garden Warfare 1, you can bring it into Garden Warfare 2 along with all the stuff that they're adding.
Which I think is huge. As somebody
Yeah.
who put a lot of time into trying to get those packs and to, getting credits so you could buy them to get all these different, costume items, it would have been really heartbreaking if you couldn't have brought them with. So I think good job, EA. I mean, I don't know how a lot of people feel about the microtransactions in the game, but at least they're saying if you did, spend a lot of time unlocking or buying unlocks for these cosmetic items, you can bring them with into the new game. So good job.
12 new battlegrounds. They didn't talk about all of them, but they mentioned you're going into snow, outer space. There's a theme park. The one that we played was the Zombot Factory, where all of the big Zombots are made. So like a little bit of context. I don't know how much storytelling you can really do in that universe, considering you have just crazy characters like Dave and the leader of the zombie army. But it's kind of nice that they were getting on the zombie side of things. We can see what their lifestyle is like. And they definitely put a focus on solo play. So they said you can play the entire game local, you can play it split screen, and you can also set up private matches for solo play. So it sounds like they're just kind of fleshing out all of the systems that they added to the first game. And what zombie did you play as? I played as the imp with the mech guy. Did you play that one or?
I played as Super Brains, and
Okay.
I really liked him. He had this really fun, tornado power where he would like put his arms out and then just like spin and his cape would twirl. And it was a really good for dispersing a pack of plants that were coming. So that was probably my favorite of the characters. I didn't get a chance to play with the captain, the sniper class, but he seemed like he'd be a really fun character too. But I have to say, I'm a little conflicted as playing from the zombie perspective because I never liked playing as the zombies in the original Garden Warfare. I loved playing as the plants because the plants are the good guys and the zombies
Right.
are the bad guys. I don't like that the zombies are like supposed to be the good guy now. I don't like that. How do you feel about it?
I don't know if they're supposed to be the good guy. I mean, I think you can pick both sides of it. I think it's just the obvious, reversal of like, if we're going to create new environments, let's have them be zombie focused instead of being plant focused. And I think just for the sake of a demo at Judges Week, they were like, let's focus on one class, so we're not, trying to explain 6 different new classes these people are playing, so we can just focus on, a small group that they can get used to. But yeah, it's weird. The thing that struck me about Garden Warfare 1 was it was weird switching teams a lot. Like one round I'd play as a plant and then a zombie and then back and forth, and then remembering what side I was on, because I'd see a zombie and be like, zombie. Oh wait, I'm a zombie, right? So it was tough. Like, I'm used to playing something like Halo, or just a game where you're clearly distinguished team-wise by like a color or like some way your armor is dressed, but you're both humans. Where it is kind of weird mentally to switch back and forth between such diverse and obviously different types of classes in a multiplayer shooter. But I think Garden Warfare 1 was a competent shooter. I think it was definitely something you could get better at and something you could pick a class that you really enjoy that would fit your play style and learn strategies and get to know the maps better. And obviously that's carrying into Garden Warfare 2, but I think the big thing they played up is it's just fun to experience this world and play with these characters and dress them up in weird ways. And I found myself cracking up, running through the environments, and not something you really do playing a squad-based co-op shooter that often. Cracking up at jokes and sound, even just like the sound effects, not even lines of dialogue, but just like noises.
Exactly.
They make while
Well, I
jumping
mean,
around.
and the way that the characters are animated, they all have a particular gait to the way that they move. They all aim their weapons a very particular way. The sounds that the zombies make or the sounds that the plants make. One of the highlights of playing Garden Warfare was just so unique and different from so many shooters out there. that I'm really excited to check out more of Garden Warfare 2.
Yeah, and if you guys liked it on GT, more is coming. There's just more characters and more stuff. As we mentioned, there's all sorts of maps that we didn't check out. So maybe we'll see more of what we saw at Judges Week, or maybe we'll see some new stuff at E3 at EA's press conference. But we know there is a Garden Warfare 2 coming. So thank you very much for checking it out, and talk to you about more E3 stuff soon.